we are actively looking for this person. We believe this person is our suspect.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at the most mysterious deaths between 2015 and 2025.
So do you believe this video was purposely edited?
It definitely looks suspect.
Kenneka Jenkins. On a night in September 2017, Kenneka Jenkins went to a party at the Crown Plaza Chicago O'Hare Hotel in Rosemont, Illinois. When morning came around, she had disappeared. After almost a full 24 hours of searching, her body was found. Police found her in the walk-in freezer of a vacant hotel kitchen. Her death has been officially ruled an accident from hypothermia, but her blood contained a massive amount of alcohol, as well as the presence of a medication she hadn't been prescribed. There's also some weird surveillance footage where she can be seen looking disoriented and stumbling around.
But then she's captured walking here on another camera, but we still don't see her entering the freezer.
Why was the freezer on when the kitchen was unused, and how did she become trapped in there?
I want to get to the bottom of what happened to my sister.
Gelani Day. Gelani Day, a graduate student at Illinois State University, was reported missing after he didn't show up for class in late August 2021.
But Gelani did not go back to campus for his class at 1 o'clock that afternoon, and crucial time would pass before anyone realized something was wrong.
10 days later, his body was discovered in the Illinois River. Here's where it gets bizarre. His car was found far away in a remote wooded area with a different license plate, and his body was found without a shirt or any clothes. It was found neatly placed on the riverbank nearby.
A partially clad, badly decomposed body was found floating face down under a tree that had fallen into the Illinois River in Peru.
Authorities initially suggested that he may have drowned, but the circumstances surrounding his car and belongings make it difficult to draw any conclusions.
His iPhone was later tossed from his car onto that roadside on I-55 North, south of mile marker 158. The question is, did Gelani do that, or did someone else?
Edmundo Rada. In October 2018, Venezuelan councilman and politician Edmundo Pipo Rada went missing. He was a prominent member of the Popular Will Party, and he openly criticized the government the very day his body was found on the side of the road outside Caracas. It was a gruesome find. His corpse had been burned, and he had 2 gunshot wounds in the back of his neck, a signature style of execution. It led his political party and family to immediately suspect that it was some kind of politically motivated assassination. Whether it is or not remains unknown to this day. Mark Angelucci. Mark Angelucci was a men's rights activist and an attorney known for his legal battles challenging gender-based laws. In July 2020, a man disguised as a FedEx delivery driver showed up at his home in California and shot Angelucci as he opened the door.
As he learned from people at the home that the shooter was dressed as a delivery person.
The killer was later identified as lawyer Roy Den Hollander, and he'd go on to target a federal judge in New Jersey as well. Hollander seemed to have a personal vendetta against the legal system and Angelucci, but he took his life shortly after the second attack. Despite a clear motive, dead men tell no tales, and he was never arrested, leading to Angelucci's case still being unsolved.
Angelucci does not appear to be named in any of Den Hollander's writings, but law enforcement have said they found papers that mention Angelucci in or around the car where Den Hollander was found dead Monday.
The Delphi Murders. On February 13, 2017, teenagers Abby Williams and Libby German disappeared while hiking near the Monon High Bridge in Delphi, Indiana. A search party was launched, and the next day, their bodies were found in a nearby forest.
This is considered a double homicide investigation.
The only real clue left behind was a terrifying video Libby had recorded on her phone, which included a grainy image of a man dubbed Bridge Guy and a brief audio clip of him saying, "Down the hill." The case went largely cold until 2022, when a man by the name of Richard Allen was arrested. Even then, the true motive for the killings and what had really happened on that bridge remains a mystery.
I think it is very possible that the killer or killers are still out there.
Kevin Frett.
Frett was regarded as the first openly gay artist in the Latin trap scene.
Kevin Frett was a Puerto Rican trap artist who, on the morning of January 10, 2019, was shot multiple times while riding a motorcycle in the Santurce neighborhood of San Juan. He was rushed to the hospital but died shortly after. His murder still remains unsolved, and the closest the case has gotten to being solved was a suspect who was shot and killed a few months later. As a result, police have never been able to officially identify a shooter or determine a clear motive, leaving the case open.
There are no words that describe the feeling we have and the pain. He still had a lot left to do.
Otto Warmbier. The university student Otto Warmbier decided to take a trip to North Korea in December 2015, and he was arrested for allegedly stealing a propaganda poster upon attempting to return to America in 2016.
I was used and manipulated.
He was sentenced to 15 years of hard labor, but was released a year later in June 2017 after a medical emergency. For some reason, Otto arrived back in the U.S. in a vegetative state, with North Korean officials claiming he had suffered from botulism and a bad reaction to a sleeping pill.
That whole time we were told he was in perfect health.
By the North Koreans, by the CIA.
U.S. doctors refuted the botulism claim, but found that he had suffered severe brain damage. Shortly after his return, Otto died, and due to being in a coma, it's unknown how he ended up that way.
And I just want to tell North Korea, as long as I'm alive, no one's going to forget what you did to Otto.
Gabby Petito.
It is really nice and sunny today.
Vlogger Gabby Petito and her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, were on a cross-country van trip in 2021 when she went missing. The case captured the public's attention when Laundrie returned home to Florida without her.
Unbeknownst to Gabby's mother, authorities say Brian had driven Gabby's van back to Florida alone.
He refused to speak to the police and then disappeared himself. Gabby's remains were found in Wyoming's Bridger-Teton National Forest, with the cause of death officially being strangulation. Even worse, a nationwide manhunt began to find Laundrie, whose body was found in a Florida nature preserve with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He had left a note confessing to her murder, but no answer as to why or any details of how.
The FBI says Brian admitted to killing Gabby in this 8-page handwritten letter.
Alexei Navalny. Alexei Navalny was a Russian opposition leader and one of the most prominent critics of Vladimir Putin. He was a frequent target of the state, going as far as having been poisoned with a Novichok nerve agent and even sentenced to prison on what some consider to be trumped-up charges.
5 months later, Navalny returned to Russia, only to be thrown in jail once more.
In February 2024, at the age of 47, he died in a remote Arctic penal colony. The official statement from Russian officials says he collapsed after a walk and couldn't be resuscitated.
They said medics could not revive him.
But many world leaders and human rights organizations accuse the Russian government of foul play, and the exact cause of his death remains disputed for now.
Make no mistake, Putin is responsible for Navalny's death.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into settings and switch on your notifications. Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was an American financier and convicted sex offender with lots of ties to powerful elites. In August 2019, he was being held without bail at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York, awaiting trial on new charges. He was found unresponsive in his cell and later pronounced dead.
His death has left lawyers for his accusers with serious questions.
Although the official cause of death was ruled self-inflicted by hanging, the details of his death have been questioned and sparked tons of conspiracy theories. On the night of his death, his cell was left unguarded for several hours in violation of protocol, and the 2 guards on duty were later charged with falsifying records.
Do you think this is really the raw footage?
No, not at all. We've got major problems with this video.
Which death mystified you the most? Let us know in the comments.
Does anything about this make sense?
Absolutely not. Nothing makes sense to me.